Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. We are back on the Truth Is channel. And boy, when I tell you, I know he about to break this down like crazy. All right, Cassie just revealed the freak-offs were actually rituals. Now, this brother gets deep with his investigating. All right, and I feel like me and him be on the same wavelength as far as knowing that there's something deeper than what we are seeing, connecting the dots. I've always said, like, in this industry, it gets really dark, and yeah. Whew, we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
It was back in 2023 that the world first heard the term Diddy freakoffs from a lawsuit that Cassie filed. Cassie accused Diddy of forcing her to participate in these freakoff parties where she was forced to hook up with male escorts while Diddy watched it all go down. At first, the world refused to believe it, calling Cassie a liar who just wanted money from Diddy. But people started looking at her differently when the very next day, Diddy settled with Cassie for millions of dollars. This seemed to prove that she wasn't lying about these wild freak-off parties, especially after months later, security footage of one of the hotels where the freak-offs were held at leaked, showing Cassie trying to escape a Diddy freak-off session and being stopped by Diddy. This is when it became clear to the world that who they thought Diddy was isn't who he really is behind the scenes. Even with this information out there, no one knew exactly what these freak-off parties were. They could only imagine what it could be. Now, since the trial has commenced, we finally have been told exactly what went on at these freak-offs. If you saw my previous videos covering this, you would know that I have been exposing the truth about the freak-off since the beginning. Go back to my Diddy video.
What is that? I'm looking at that symbol on this person, and that person on their shirts. Huh. Yeah, he has been talking about this for a while.
Now, since the trial has commenced, we finally have been told exactly what went on at these freak-offs. If you saw my previous videos covering this, you would know that I have been exposing the truth about the freak-off since the beginning. Go back to my Diddy videos from when all of this started. I told you guys exactly what these freak-offs were. They weren't parties. They were sex magic rituals. Now, Cassie basically has confirmed this during the trial, as she has gone into detail about what exactly Diddy was doing during those rituals. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the Diddy trial and Cassie revealing the truth about the freak-offs. Let's get right into it. Right now, we are at the start of the trial of the decade. The biggest figure in hip-hop is being judged by the courts for his horrific behavior within the music industry. Since 2023, people have started to see Diddy differently, but after the details revealed during the trial, the world will see him for what he really is. A sick individual who's into some dark things. Recently, the trial has commenced, and the first witness called to the stand is no other than Cassie. Cassie is one of the most important witnesses in this trial, as she was the woman who started this all. If it wasn't for suing Diddy back in 2023, the world will still be worshipping that fallen man.
Right.
While on the trial, Cassie has been painting a picture of what exactly she went through with Diddy, giving us a vivid description of the disturbing freak-offs. According to Cassie, she met Diddy when she was fairly young at the age of 19 and began dating him not long after. She was an inspiring artist, and Diddy took a liking to her, signing her to his Bad Boy record label for a 10-album deal. The more time they spent together working on music, the closer they became, until she fell in love with him. By the time she was 22, Diddy asked her if she would be willing to participate in his freak-offs. Cassie claimed she was initially caught off guard and shocked, but agreed to do them because she loved Diddy and wanted to keep him happy. Cassie then explained how these freak-offs would play out. They would invite male escorts or dancers to hotels they would book all over the country. They would order multiple men sometimes to show up. When the male escorts would show up, he would be greeted by Diddy and Cassie wearing a disguise. Cassie would wear a mask while Diddy would cover his face with a bandana. Then Diddy would sit in a corner while Cassie and the male worker engaged in intimate acts and watch while playing with his little Diddy, directing the entire session like if he were an adult.
This man saying playing with his little Diddy. Boy. Yeah, man. Again, this stuff, like hearing it again with everything going on, is just, people got to understand how young she was and how that works. Like coaching her, pretty much. All the things he promised with her career, all that. That's why I said, as this trial continues, these stories are going to get crazier and crazier, man.
Director, he would instruct them to continue until the escort would completely finish in or on Cassie. Cassie and Diddy would then immediately run into another room, leaving the escorts alone for a moment. Cassie claimed that when they were in the other room after finishing with the escort, Diddy would do the most disturbing thing about all of this. This is worse than anything else that has been reported, and that says a lot. According to Cassie, Diddy would instruct her to remove the male fluid from inside of her and then rub it on Diddy's chest area. Again, Cassie claims Diddy would want the escort's fluid rubbed on his chest after Cassie finished hooking up with him. This was seriously disturbing, but groundbreaking information that confirms everything I've been exposing about Diddy for years now. Now you may be wondering, why the heck would Diddy want another man's fluid rubbed on his chest? Is it because he's gay and that's just some weird kink he's into? No, not at all. This is darker and deeper than the mainstream is trying to make it appear. Diddy is a sex magician occultist. He is into an occult practice called sex magic. He is a part of the occult sex religion called Thelema. What Cassie described wasn't her fulfilling Diddy's strange kinks. It was describing a sex magic ritual. In Thelema, exactly what Diddy has Cassie doing in these freakoffs is what goes on inside of these Thelema lodges. Groups of sex magicians engage in magical rites where a man and a woman engage in intimate activities together while others watch. Those a part of the Thelema religion believe that there's magic in intimacy, magic that they need to harness to become spiritually enlightened. By watching another couple engage in these activities, they are absorbing that energy. That's what Diddy was doing the whole entire time. Everyone you see at the very top in Hollywood engages in these rituals. Now, the reason Diddy wanted the male fluid rubbed on his chest, it's because in sex magic, they believe the male fluid is magical. They call it the life essence. They believe that the energy needs to be harnessed. The reason they do these rituals is to put themselves in a trance-like state where they can activate their higher selves. Diddy was participating in these sex rituals with Cassie. Now, Diddy has been telling the world he's a part of the Thelema religion for a while now. Every time you see him taking pictures doing this hand gesture, that is a Thelema hand gesture.
That's what I be saying, man. Again, if that hand gesture is nothing, why is everyone doing it? That's what I want to know. Why does everyone do it? She's throwing up the rock right now. You know what I mean? So
done during sex magic rituals. On top of this, in the religion Thelema, they claim that love is the law, love under will, which is basically the credo of the organization. Now, you should remember that Diddy changed his name to Love. This is a direct reference to Thelema. Diddy is referring to love is the law, love under will. It's why he released an entire album called the Love Album. All of it was Diddy secretly showing the world that he was an occultist into sex magic. These parties weren't just about fulfilling Diddy's disturbing desires. They were rituals done with a specific purpose. According to Cassie, Diddy was having her do this multiple times a week for several years. Cassie claims she wasn't able to quit because Diddy would film these rituals and then use them against her, claiming that he would release them if she stopped. The reason occultists participate in these sex rituals is because they believe it'll help them enter a higher spiritual realm that puts them in contact with higher spiritual entities. They believe these rituals allow them to communicate with these entities who grant them forbidden knowledge. These occultists will then use this forbidden knowledge to achieve whatever they want. Many inventors, artists, and actors all do these same sex rituals in order to contact these deities and use them for their work. Artists will use these deities to write his songs. Inventors will use these rituals to come up with the answers to their inventions. Actors do these rituals to allow the entities to take over them and use them for their acting roles. This is the secret of the highest degree in Masonry. This is what is taught in the 33rd degree. How to utilize sex magic to be able to communicate with these entities. Many people think Cassie was complicit in all of this because she wanted money. Part of this is true. Cassie wanted to be a successful artist.
Right.
She saw Diddy as the man who could make that happen. But it appears Diddy had other plans for her, using her to perform these sex magic rituals. And it's the same thing that happens to many of these upcoming celebrities that enter the industry. They think that these executives want to help them make it to the next level, when in reality, they're either trying to initiate them or use them for their rituals. From what it appears, Cassie was just like many other celebrities who got brought into that life when they were trying to make it big. She was willing to do anything to make it, and that's what Diddy had her doing for her spot in the industry. I believe Diddy also did these rituals with people like J-Lo, and I believe she's continuing to use these rituals in her life till today. J-Lo's ex-husband exposed her for using witchcraft and performing rituals for her success. Jennifer was married to Ojani back in 1998, right before she was with Diddy. Ojani even claims that Jennifer cheated on him with Diddy. More importantly, Ojani exposed something about Jennifer that most people don't know, that she's into black magic and witchcraft. According to Ojani, J-Lo is deep into Santeria, which is similar to voodoo. He claims that J-Lo was extremely serious about Santeria, and he was as well at one point. Ojani claims that he and Jennifer...
Boy, this is a lot. I'm just thinking, like, because we all know that J-Lo has been with, excuse me, been with a few men. And I'm just wondering, is that the reason it don't work out? I don't know. But nothing is truly surprising. It's more surprising that it's coming out versus it happening. You know what I mean? That's the surprising part, that it's all being revealed. It's all up on us if we want to pay attention or not, you know? And when I mean pay attention, it's about supporting these people. So if they're into all of this craziness, it's like if you support them, it's like you're part of the problem, you know? Because it's one thing to be wanting to do all this freaky, but I told you, when it's other stuff to this. I don't know if he's gonna get to that.
A black magic godmother, that J-Lo even performed a Santeria ritual to be granted the Selena movie role, the movie role that changed her life. J-Lo started dating Ojani back in the mid-90s and ended up marrying him in 1998. He was actually her first husband and was with her before she became a massive star. He was exposed to Santeria after he started dating J-Lo. He claimed that after they broke up, because J-Lo was cheating on him with Diddy, he and J-Lo went to see their Santeria spiritual leader, who he called the Godmother. This is where he claims that J-Lo participated in sacrifices to the gods in order to cleanse herself of Diddy. According to Ojani, he saw J-Lo do a blood rebirth ritual where she bathed in chicken blood until she was covered in it from head to toe.
Yo.
He then claims that she was washed off with holy water and patted with herbs. This is what I believe he was referring to. All of these big celebrities are into this. Thelema is the secret religion of Hollywood. Thelema at its core is just Gnosticism, alchemy, and Luciferianism, ancient occult practices that these occultists use to become God. Understand that Diddy isn't the only one doing this. Kanye is also into these same practices. Kanye is also into sex magic, and that's why we see him doing the things he does today. Kanye and Diddy were close, and it's because they both participated in these disturbing rituals, and so did Jay-Z. Aleister Crowley is seen as a god in Hollywood. He's the one that taught Hollywood about sex magic. All of these artists you see sending love and admiration to Crowley are into sex magic. That also goes for Ab-Soul. Ab-Soul made an entire album about Crowley, calling it Do What Thou Wilt.
But the name of the album was the saying Do What Thou Wilt. Which brought me to Aleister Crowley.
Correct.
And you know Aleister, you know who Aleister Crowley
Absolutely.
is, right? And he was a magician, a poet, and he was also linked to Satanism. In ways. And so what made you decide, what does that mean to you? Made you decide to name your project that?
Well, you know what? You're the first one to bring up the Satanism, and I'm so glad that you did, because you know it's all church with me.
Yeah.
Know that. So Do What Thou Wilt immediately sounds like, free will. Aleister Crowley has been influential throughout music and entertainment and ideology and philosophy. The album is based on that quote, Do What Thou Wilt, which is in the book, one of his books, the Book of the Law. And love is the law. Love is the only law. I respect that because, you know, my main thing is ain't nothing wrong with a righteous man, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I really admire this guy.
Is this gonna be the breakthrough joint?
Well, I mean, but you know,
Well, see, what he's saying is, are you signing your name on the
Are-
dotted
are you
line?
joining the
Are you signing your
Illuminati?
soul away?
Oh.
No, yeah, that's what he's saying.
Are you in the Illuminati app?
I mean,
It literally be right here in our face. I don't think I've ever seen this, but right here in your face. Right here in your face. And most people just laugh and joke about it.
what you think?
I know, but you know, but these are,
As you can see, this is what Crowley was really about. Crowley taught his followers about all of these rituals, literally not only telling people to use man fluid like Diddy is doing, but also using blood in the same way. Crowley even instructed his followers to even eat man fluid as it would further their ecstasy. It's not a coincidence that Diddy changed his name to Love and dropped the Love album right before this all happened. He was out here doing these rituals the entire time. It's all connected to sex magic. Remember Jonathan Odie? He was just brought up in this trial and confirmed to be one of the freakoff escorts. He claimed Diddy, Khaled, and Ross were all gay and a part of the Bolé secret society.
Diddy and Ross, which are good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boulé. The Boulé is a branch of the
I
Illuminati.
see that.
All of these men are a part of Thelema. All of them participate in these sick, disturbing rituals. This is the truth about Hollywood the media isn't going to tell you. This is why I advise you guys to stop idolizing these people. Look at what these people are really up to behind the scenes. It's disgusting. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this trial and continue to provide you guys with the important information. Things that the media are going to try to cover up because they work for the elite who participate in these sick rituals. Well, that's it for this video. I want to thank you all for watching.
Again, you guys can take this video and do whatever with it, but yeah, this stuff it's really crazy how people kind of turn a blind eye to it. Very wicked world we're living in. And I feel like that's why a lot of these people were quiet. You know, a lot of the people who attended his parties, they want to go back because they're in that dark place. They're there. And a lot of them don't want to get out. So they're missing these parties he was having, you know. They're hoping that he's found not guilty so they can continue. Guaranteed. You know, it's kind of like when, you know, what's his name? Mark Rubin. He had the whole all white party for networking and all that. Yeah. Hey, like 50 Cent said, when they hug you from the front and the back. Yeah, all right. All right. But, I mean, this stuff is literally right in our face. I'm going to try to upload this video as is and see what happens. All right. Peace out. Thanks for watching.